Time to review something a bit more relevant. I wanted to review this before Gay Bash, but I couldn't as I didn't have time to. Yeah, this is going to be a rather long review. A special, if you're so inclined, of Cartoon Network's newest flop show, Sonic Boom. Yeah, Sonic hasn't had too many good series. In fact, the only two that I can think of is the original series, and honestly, I didn't actually think Sonic X was that bad. I mean, it wasn't bad as, say, Night of the Werehog, or what I'm reviewing today. Speaking of which, I should stop stalling for time. So this is a special. It will be a long one, so sit back and enjoy Sonic Boom, specifically the full first episode. Since this is one of the shows with two parts, the first part is called The Sidekick. It starts with a desert shot, showing that this may have promise. So quickly we see what appears to be Eggman riding one of his machines, and immediately we hear the main problem with the series. It was written for children in the 21st century, and trust me, I'll get more into these kind of shows in the future. But let me give you a rundown of what's wrong with these kinds of shows. The creators of these kind of shows think that because they're running for kids, they can get away with dumbing down the comedy, and while looking at some shows that got greenlit, they're probably right. But still, that's no excuse for this annoyance, and it's only going to get worse from here. Eggman flies to a ravine of some sort and introduces him to the next robot who's supposedly going to murder him. The following conversation takes place.
It all ends here, old friend. Prepare to be destroyed by Burnbot!
So what, he's gonna burn me with flamethrowers or something?
Flamethrower? No.
Oh, acid? Incendiary grenades?
No. Claws! Yes, claws! Very painful claws!
Well, then you should have called him Clawbot, or Delacerator, or Pinchatron 9000, but Burnbot. I mean, that's just false advertising.
I name the robot Sonic!
Honestly, good point, Sonic. But pointing out your problems doesn't make them go away. Burnbot chases Sonic for a bit before Tails comes in and rescues him, before Burnbot uses his claws to send Tails crashing to the ground. Sonic crushes Burnbot and then checks on Tails, worried he brings Tails home. We then cut to Tails on a bed, and Sonic fires Tails from being his sidekick. Now, with this plot, this show could really pick up. But does it? I'll give you a hint. Anyway, Sonic puts up posters to look for a new sidekick, which Eggman gets a hold of and debates whether or not he should go. He decides to anyway, because the plot needs him to, and then we cut to a montage of all the potential sidekicks, starting with Amy.
I'm Amy Rose, and I'll be auditioning for the part of Sidekick.
Amy, I know who you are.
Great, because I am fine with nepotism. Oh, and under special skills you can add juggling and singing. Oh, and the Saints go marching in, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Next!
You know, in the Sonic games, Amy can be annoying. Sure. But if you have a high tolerant rate, you realize she's there for a reason sometimes. And that's good. Amy in Sonic Boom is just the embodiment of problems people have with Sonic's friends. People think that they're annoying, and in this particular show, you'll see they are correct. Anyway, we continue to a beaver, back to Amy, Knuckles, who tries to get his own sidekick. Now, see, let me pause here. Knuckles has what I call Larry the Lobster syndrome, and while I haven't done any SpongeBob episodes yet, Larry's character is based on a narcissistic bodybuilder whose entire world focuses on himself. However, unlike Knuckles, Larry can care about others' lives, which maybe we'll see in a future episode. Anyway, we then cut to a hooded figure who's obviously Tails, who wants to be Sonic's sidekick again. We then see Eggman trying that out, oddly enough. So Eggman, Tails, and the Beaver go to round 2 because potato. Round 2 requires the 3 to get the flag on the top of a mountain, and the Beaver gets annoying. So Eggman pushes him down the hill, the race begins, and because Eggman's a villain in a cartoon, he starts cheating. Tails accidentally pushes the Beaver out of the race and kills him.
Actually, I'm okay.
Damn. Anyway, Tails reaches the checkpoint and tells Sonic he can handle Eggman and starts. Whereas we cut to who gives a fuck as he cries to himself. We then cut to Tails and Eggman as we learn Eggman only wants to get rid of Sonic. Who saw that coming? He picks up Burnbot and causes Tails to crash. Again. Sonic checks on Tails again as Eggman tries to kill them again. Sonic confesses that he didn't want to fire Tails, and Eggman tells Sonic that Burnbot can now burn things, causing Sonic to fall into the water, and Tails flies away. Now, let me stop again. You know, there are 2 other times Tails could have flown away from danger. Why did the creators only decide to do it this time? Oh yeah, because then we wouldn't have a plot. Oh, yeah, and Sonic can't swim because the myth of that hedgehogs can't swim is totally right? Yeah, well, I won't dwell on that fact because Sonic was made to not be able to swim. Anyway, Tails rescues Sonic, they both get rid of Eggman, and Tails flies off with Sonic into the sunset. The problem with the first part of this episode is that it didn't need to be here. Tails has the ability to fly, so he could have flown out of the plane in the first act. You can argue that Tails couldn't have ejected himself out of the plane. That was in an entire 20 seconds. He could have undid his seatbelt and failed to fly away. So the whole plot was fucking pointless. Well, since I agreed to do both parts, let's get to Can an Evil Genius Crash on Your Couch for a Few Weeks? And already by the title alone, I hate this plot. I suppose I don't have to go into too many details because the plot is generally an asshole spends time at someone's house and takes as much advantage as they can of the person. Already in my review lineup, I have about 2 other episodes that dive into this. I will review both someday, but right now there's a bit I have to go into here. I grant you it's not much. So we start with Sonic and Tails sleeping as you do. When we hear a knock at the door, Sonic goes to answer it to see Eggman at the door. Eggman explains that his lair was destroyed, and Sonic agrees to let him stay a while, along with Orbabot and Cubebot. We then cut to the next morning as we see Larry the Lobster, the embodiment of annoying, and... who the fuck is this? No, seriously. Who the fuck is that? That's no Sonic character I've ever seen before. Whatever, I'm certain I'll learn her name later. Anyway, the 3 spot Eggman and get ready to fight. Sonic explains the whole situation, and Eggman is addicted to Tails. Miss What's-Her-Face then speaks.
Oh, some evil plot, man! First he lures us in with some terrible roommate ploy, but then wham! Out comes this 50-foot obliterator bot that obliterates us all! We gotta get out of here.
Hold on, is that Chum Chum? Quick, replay the clip.
Oh, some evil plot, man! First he lures us in with some terrible roommate ploy, but then wham! Out comes this 50-foot obliterator bot that obliterates us all! We gotta get out of here.
I'll be damned. That's Chum Chum from Fanboy and Chum Chum, Nickelodeon's loudest and most annoying show. Really ever. Oh shit. This doesn't look good for the show, but now I'm a bit intrigued. Amy starts talking as she goes all therapist mode trying to comfort Eggman, and understandably, Eggman hates it. Tails explains that he doesn't mind being Eggman's slave for a bit. We then cut to a montage of Eggman being a pest, and it goes on for a good 32 seconds before we cut to Sonic bitching about Eggman, understandably so.
You can't just throw Eggman out.
I don't see why not. It's Sonic's house, and he's fed up with Eggman. Eggman is overstaying his welcome, so yes, they could easily throw him out. Tails continues to explain how stupid Amy is being, and after being dragged out in a stupid scene that leads nowhere, we see Eggman doing his part to help around the house. It montages again for a while until Sonic asks Eggman if he's tired, but Eggman denies it as he keeps Sonic and Tails up all night. Cut to Harry, Larry, and Knuckles, Amy, and What's-Her-Face. See, Eggman is still at Sonic. Chum Chum spouts what sounds to be a bunch of conspiracy bullshit that turns out to be true 30 seconds from when she says it. Because this is a children's show, and evidently children have short-term memory loss. Also, during that time, we learn that Chum Chum's name is Styx. Anyway, Eggman orders Obliterator Bot. Hold on, why is Eggman's inventions starting to remind me of Dr. Doofenshmirtz? Anyway, he orders Obliterator Bot to destroy his base because he fucked up and convinces Sonic to help him and the bot. All I have to say is this part annoys me, as everything about it is in mean spirit despite it being Eggman doing the thing. And as for Sonic Boom, it's not, I guess it's not terrible. However, the first episode is definitely wasted potential, and if it says anything about the rest of the show, then the show is dead when it starts.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic